Hello, everyone. Today we are here with the call of creepypasta.
Hello.
Is there anything you would like to say before we get started with your questions?
Uh, Nothing really. Just ready to get to it.
Okay. Now, your questions are going to be slightly different because you are actually a retired narrator. So,
Yeah.
okay. Our first question for you: how did you come up with your channel name?
Uh, well, essentially, I was. It was Halloween season. I think it was like late September, early October ish, and I was trying to. I was getting into the narrating thing just because I was listening to so many like Mr. Creepypasta's videos and all that, and I was really getting into it. I was thinking about it because was very tech savvy at the time, at least. So I was really trying to get into it, and I was like, it was getting close to Halloween. So to get hyped for Halloween, I was also reading a bunch of horror stories. Like I reread all three of the Scary Stories in the Dark books, and the next one after that was like the Tales of H.P. Lovecraft, which was this big, huge book. It was like super thick, and one of those was called Cthulhu, and I was just like, you know, if I take out Cthulhu and I put creepy pasta, that makes the caller creepy pasta.
Okay.
It's actually not that intricate.
How did your persona come to be?
Uh, well, I don't. It's just I'm not really sure how it came to be because originally it just kind of took on a mind of its own. Like so many people made it whatever they wanted it to be, so it was never really mine. If you want to be honest about it, like some people wanted it to be Cthulhu, some people wanted to be like a mind flayer from like D&D. Other people wanted like a comical like little Cthulhu, which is like how I appear on Skype. So like it was just whatever people wanted it to be, and I just kind of ran with whatever they wanted essentially.
How did narrating change you?
Um, Narrating changed me because it gave me a way to honestly. It wasn't really about the narrating as much as the fact that I could spread out to so many different people because I met so many friends through there that mean more to me than most of any of my real friends could ever mean. Like even if it's almost like a second family, like even if we don't talk, I'm like always worried about like what they're doing, if they're doing fine, what's bothering them, if something's bothering them. And I just it changed me because it realized how much of a better person I could be. Because there's a bad side to the internet where you can hide behind a computer and you can call somebody a douche and be like, "Ha, I'll never get in trouble for it," because it's just the internet. But like, I feel like that can go both ways, and you can use that lack of knowing who you are to kind of just be the best person you can be and not be embarrassed about it. And I feel like that was a really good doorway that I don't think I fully utilized, but I really wanted to, is to try to be friends with people and try to make their lives better.
How has narrating changed your life?
Um, it very much changed my life because I got a lot more values about friendship, which it kind of messed up a lot of my friendships. Which don't get me wrong, it's not like oh man I lost friends because of community. It was more like I had such a high view of friends that I could more easily tell when I didn't have very good friends at the time because no matter how long I spent away from the community, I could just come back and they would treat me like gold no matter what was happening or how long I'd been away. And then I'd have friends who, if I didn't talk to them for a week, I apparently hated them or something. And it was just such a stark contrast. So it really taught me a lot of lessons about being nice to people and caring genuinely.
Why did you start narrating?
Um, Honestly, I started narrating first off because I just loved narration in general. I like the idea of it. It's like those old style audio dramas, and that's kind of how I tried to make my videos, like an old style audio drama, because I love just the fact that you can't see anything, but you could just hear everything that's happening, and you don't really know, and it can be basically whatever you imagine it to be because you're just provided the audio. You can put anything there. But like the more I began to narrate, like I said, the more I wanted to just reach out to people, and that was more important because that's how I met you. It was because I kept I just like I could just respond to people all the time. These people that I would never meet in real life, I can just meet and just like make their day, and I can do that all the time, every time. And I can just put out things that entertains people because, you know, if you're having a bad day or if you're upset, and like some people just go to YouTube and watch YouTube videos all day. Like that's just something they do when they're upset. I know that's what my brother does, and like that can be a saving grace for somebody who's having a terrible day. And it's really is a tool to really be there for other people, if not just as a personality answering questions, but also as just entertaining people on a bad day. And it's something really good to do for others.
Why did you stop narrating?
Okay, this is probably going to be the longest question. I don't think there's any single thing that really stopped it. There was just so much happened at once, and this is going to get a little bit personal, but not too personal. But like the most, I had always taken like a month break when school got hard, and that was never a big deal. But like I stopped, which is why this is happening. Basically, it was a combination of a ton of things. First of all, don't know how. Well, this is creepypasta community, so I don't have to be like, oh, well, I don't know how you feel about this. It's basically I had a lot of supernatural experiences going on in my life at the same time, which was very off-putting, considering the fact that I had to turn off all the lights, get by myself, and talk for about 30 minutes, like weekly, to try to put out content. And a lot of the supernatural entities were just bothering me, so I didn't kind of want to get into scary things if I was already scared a lot. And I was going to try and do like a creepypasta series on it, but like it got too personal and I couldn't handle it, so I just stopped. And another thing was I had a best friend who I had been best friends with for 14 years, and he was dealing with a lot of really bad issues, and he stopped talking to me, and he hasn't talked to me since. And that's like 14 years of my life that I've known this guy. Like I know him better than his family does, and he stopped talking to me. And I had been dating this is all in like a 4-month period too. So I had been dating a girl who I'd been best friends with for like 4 years. And then we started dating like the last 2. And then she left me. So that hurt a lot. And and things at home weren't nice either, because I was just stressed all the time, and it was getting volatile, and things were just all over the place. And which you can read into that, because I'm not going to like get too personal with that, but yeah, bad stuff was happening. And overall, I just have trouble finishing things anyway. Like I always have like 30 personal projects I have going. Like I remix music, and it's not like dance music. It's like orchestrated stuff. Like I'll mix that together, or I'm writing a story, or I'm writing a story in another genre, or I'm playing video games. I'm thinking about video game ideas because my brother wants to make video games for a living, so I'm pitching ideas to him all the time. Or I'm role-playing in multiple different kind of games like Dungeons & Dragons, The One Ring, something. I'm always all over the place, so it's really hard for me to stay committed to something just because my time's so split. So usually something gets dropped, and lately that's been my music. Like my music's really just gone out the window. I can't do that anymore. I stopped writing entirely. Can't do that anymore. Oh, I draw too. I forgot I draw. Actually, I do draw because I just have this handy. I do draw a lot, and I haven't done that in months. Like I just have so much I want to do that I don't have the time for anymore. And pastas were kind of the when college hit, because that was the big one. That was the really big one, was college hit, and it's really hard. And there's a lot of complications that go into it. That's not just classes. Like currently I'm dealing with this situation where I have to join the teaching program, but to join the teaching program, I have to pass 3 tests called the praxis. And 2 of them I passed, but the third one's a writing exam. So it takes like months to grade since they get a ton of them. and they're taking so long to grade it that I'm probably not going to get it in before the next semester starts. So I don't know if I'm going to have to go in and put in a bunch of classes and kind of have a dummy semester just to keep going, or if I'm going to, I don't know what's happening with that. And it's just, where do I find the time to talk for 30 minutes, edit for about 3 or 4 hours, post it, and then do that like every 3 days just to keep content going? Like, I just cut it out, plus all the stress and everything I just said. It's just, it just all hit me at once and I couldn't handle it.
What are you doing now that you are no longer narrating?
I'm like I said, I'm a college student right now. I'm trying to be a history teacher because I want to, if you haven't noticed, I want to help people. That's kind of my spiel. So I feel like that's the best way to give back to society, is by helping the youth. And because I know a lot of teachers helped me when I didn't feel like I had any purpose or anything left to really do in life. Like, I felt like my life wasn't going anywhere. I was just upset all the time. And like, a teacher would tell me I was really good at something, or you should really look into this because it'll help you feel better. Or, I remember this one time a teacher literally told me, stand up straight and act like the man you are. And it wasn't like in a mean way. It was just like she was proud of me and she wanted me to be as good as she saw me as. And it was very empowering. And I really want to affect people like that. And I also am not taking out all the loans for college. So I'm only taking out one. So I actually do have to pay a sum of my tuition every year, which is why I'm a local crew trainer at McDonald's, which is kind of like a teaching position in its own right. So that's kind of actually helpful. So that's what I do.
Do you plan on restarting your channel in the future?
I've never not wanted to not do it. It's never been that I didn't want to. Like, as I said at the beginning of this, I've just wanted to help people because I see so many other communities that are just so unified and so strong, and everybody's trying to help each other. Like, it's such a powerful thing to be part of a community. Because people will look out for each other. They'll be there for each other. They'll be friends, and you can inspire that. Like, it's not about how many subscribers you get. I mean, if your subscribers are fighting with each other and causing drama all the time, what does it even matter? Because if you're not helping them, it's not worth it. If you don't give back to the people who help you, the world just doesn't work. I always say this. This is like my catchphrase, and people get all over me for it. If nobody helped anyone, the world would be nothing. So I really liked being able to help people. I spent a lot of nights up talking to people about their issues, because as you found out, a lot of people in this community have a lot of issues, and they're very vast and varying. Some people have physical, emotional, and so many different problems going on. And I've spent a lot of sleepless nights up trying to help certain people with their any sort of issue they have going on. And that's really what it's about. It's not about telling a scary story. It's not about conveying some sort of entertainment. To me, it's about how many people that I could reach and how many people I could help by that connection. And I always kind of feel personally terrible that I kind of gave that up. And I don't know why I did. I mean, I explained why I did. It's never something I did not want to do. And I really want to try and fit in if I can.
What creepypasta has made an impact on your life?
Oh, this was that one question. I was just staring at it like, I think, oh man. I really liked Pen Pal, because it was, it's not really, does that count as a creepypasta? It was done on, yeah, okay. I really liked that because it really wasn't a scary story. That was something that happens a lot. Like, it was almost an awareness story, because that happens to people. And it really spoke to me because it a lot of people kind of just ignore things. You know, it's a lot of horror stories are just like the Slenderman, that's not real. Jeff the Killer, it's not real. The Rake, it's not real. So like the fact that they basically use something that happens in real life to illustrate a point and to tell a story really spoke to me, because awareness on issues is one of the main ways you begin to stop an issue. So it meant a lot to me that somebody was trying, like, vocalizing a sort of issue where people are being stalked and kidnapped and that sort of thing.
We are actually on the last question for you.
Oh man, well, I thought that'd be a lot longer.
What is a fun fact about yourself?
Oh, I'm missing intestines. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with, because a lot of people don't know that. When I was, I think I was like 9 or 10, I had a surgery because my intestine, not my intestines, my appendix ruptured, and it kind of burst instead of just rupturing. So all that I don't want to call it juice because it sounds kind of gross, but like it was like acid consistency, and it like flew all over everything. Mm-hmm. So it actually started burning away my intestines. And then I don't know if you know anatomy a lot, but it's like on your it's like you're down over there, and it's like right up against your intestines. So that immediate like 3 feet around it had to be like thrown out because it was literally just like full of holes, and it could not be repaired. It was like torn apart and everything. So this is also a fun fact that kind of goes with that, is that I get sick every single day, because if you have to eat every single day, which means it has to travel through that strained part of my intestines every day, because I didn't get new intestines. They just kind of went point A, point B, and stuck them back together. So basically every time it kind of goes through my intestines, I get really, really sick and upset, and I just have to like leave the room for about 15 minutes just to like usher it along, because it's so painful. But yeah, that's something I have to deal with every day that a lot of people don't know about. I mean, a lot of my close friends know about it. Like, I'll be like, oh, it's that time, and just run off, and they'll understand. But like, that's something not a lot of people know.
Okay. That's actually really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, is there anything you would like to say before we wrap this up?
I just want to thank you personally, because I didn't know that I meant anything to any of you people, honestly. Like, I thought I was just like, oh, he's gone, bye-bye, see ya. And I thought that was just how it was. It was just completely behind me, and that door was always closed, and I could never look back on it. But like, you kind of brought me back into this whole thing, and then you just talked to me like I meant something, and I was really worthwhile. And I don't get that a lot, like out here in the real world. I don't get told that I mean stuff. And then it just kept spreading, because like I would meet so many people that I knew before I left, and they were just like doing the exact same thing, just telling me how much I meant and how I was there for them and how it meant something. And I liked being able to care for others the way that you should be, and I very much appreciate that you do care.
Well, like I said, you were one of the few narrators who actually messaged me back when I didn't even have my own channel. So,
well, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter if you have your own channel, because you're a human being with thoughts and feelings that matter, and they should be validated if you can. If you can't reach them on an individual level, you build a community that cares about each other individually. Like, you have to, because that's, at the end of the day, that's what it means. You are a part of something greater that is good. And if you don't address those people who really care about you, it's not even worth it.
I can't speak for everyone, but even though, you'd stopped making videos by the time I found your channel, I still loved what you put out, and it was definitely a pleasure the first time I met you, and it's definitely a pleasure talking to you as often as I do, even though it should be more often.
Sorry.
Okay, well, before we get too feely, I will go ahead and let everybody know that if you have not seen Call's channel yet, check the description down below. Go see everything he's put out, and go sub and comment and like and let him know that you want him to start making more content.
Oh, great. Now you're loopholing me in. This was your
Yeah.
plan all along. I knew it. I knew it.
I told you I wanted you to start narrating
Oh,
again.
I forget who it was. Somebody else was trying to loophole me into it. I think it may have been Moose or somebody. Somebody was just like, do it. And I'm like, oh, man.
But thank you very much for allowing me to interview you.
Oh, the pleasure was all mine.
And I guess that is it for now. So, bye everyone.
Oh, bye.